Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Buhari reaffirms his administration's commitment to prioritizing local content as he lays foundation for University of Transportation in Daura, Katsina State. Dangote Refinery approaches completion as company takes delivery of crude distillation column with 650,000 barrels per day capacity. World Bank projects Nigeria's growth rate to remain stable at 2.1% between 2020 and 2021. Political leaders as well as diplomats meet in Madrid for climate change crisis talks as Marshall Island president describes a fight to the death with rising tides. For more information on our top stories and others, just check out our website. It's channelstv.com. YouTube.com/channelsweb has videos of all our shows. Outside our shores, a 24-year-old South African policeman, Austin Reynolds, who killed a Nigerian, Ebuka Okoli, in January 2018, has been sentenced to an effective 30 years in prison. Constable Reynolds, who was convicted on 3 counts of robbery and 1 of murder last Friday, got 15 years on each count, which will mostly run concurrently, and 25 years for count 3, which is murder. And let's go back to our Abuja studios, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by with more stories.
Good to see you, Melinda, and welcome to the nation's capital. Now, a federal high court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, has ordered the interim forfeiture of houses belonging to former Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. This follows a request made to the court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's Ilorin Zonal Office on the grounds that the property, located at 1 Abdul Qadir Street, GRA, and valued at about 1 billion naira, was acquired from proceeds of unlawful activity. Ruling on the ex parte application earlier today, the presiding judge, Justice Ridwan Aikawa-Made, ordered the interim forfeiture of the property with an injunction for the court order to be published in national newspapers. The judge also ordered interested parties in the property to show cause, while the property should not be forfeited to the federal government. The commission, in moving the application, maintains that there is reasonable grounds for suspicion that Dr. Bukola Saraki built the house with government funds and other proceeds of crime. And still in the court, a federal high court has dismissed the suit filed by the Police Service Commission seeking a pronouncement that it is a statutory body charged with the enlistment of the rank and file in the Nigerian police force. Justice Iyang Eko, who delivered judgment on the suit today, held that by the provision of Section 721 of the Police Act, it is Nigerian Police Council under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police that is charged with the power. According to him, there is nothing in the documentary evidence placed before the court by the PSC to support its claims that the IGP has usurped its powers in the enlistment of rank and file into the Nigerian police. The suit was filed by the PSC to stop the ongoing recruitment of 10,000 constables by the Nigerian police. On to politics now. The leadership of Nigeria's main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is asking the National Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, to lead the process of electoral reforms in the country. At a meeting with officials of INEC in Abuja, the national chairman of PDP, Mr. Uche Secondus, said it would be difficult for the party to participate in future elections without the necessary reforms that will allow free and fair polls. According to him, the conduct of recent elections, including the 2019 general elections, calls for integrity of the electoral umpire to question.
We in PDP expect INEC to be at the forefront of this process, to have legal framework for the conduct of free and fair and credible election. We are not barred from pouring out our minds that the election that took place in Bayelsa and Kogi will be the same methods for subsequent elections. It will be very difficult for us to participate. We'll find some of your operatives unable to detach their interest. Very difficult. The survival and sustenance of our democracy rests squarely on the integrity of the Electoral Commission, which will derive from the character and the impartiality of its operatives. It's very important. I would like to urge your commission to move quickly and initiate Electoral Act amendments that will legalize electronic voting and remove the influence of the military as primary security on election day.
The Minister of Mines and Steel Development is advocating the responsible management of a supply value chain through an impactful global chain platform for raw materials in the mineral downstream sector of the country. Mr. Olamilekon Adigbite, who was speaking at an event to develop a value chain policy for Nigeria's mineral downstream, regretted the fact that raw materials are exported out of Nigeria only to return as finished goods. He adds that countries like Indonesia and South Africa contribute about 35% of their GDP through a value chain of downstream mineral resources, the development of infrastructure, as well as job creation.
What has happened, or is happening in Nigeria currently, is that raw minerals are exported out of Nigeria without any beneficiation and sent to industrial centers all over the world. We sell these minerals at cheap prices, next to nothing. And of course, we import the byproduct, the end products, back into Nigeria at a very costly price. Some of these minerals we could have processed locally, thereby achieving more in terms of economic gains for the country. No doubt, the mineral downstreams hold great opportunities for entrepreneurs from other sectors to participate in the mining value chain. Equipment sales, leasing enterprises, lawyers, risk analysts, business service consultants, all these are needed to enter into the market. Also, just like in other mining jurisdictions, our industry welcome mining specialist blogs and publications.
It's still the news at 10. When the news returns, political leaders and climate diplomats meet in Madrid for climate change crisis talks, as the president of Marshall Island describes a fight to the death with rising tides and freak waves. Do join us again.